People have this impression that to have an iron mind, you need to be in constant God mode, and that life needs to be struggle permanently. You need to be able to deal with that struggle permanently, and it's all just doom and gloom, which is not the case at all. You need to have goals. You've created your enemy. You know who you're battling against. But life should be a happy experience. So making sure that completing your goals makes your life better and more positive, makes you feel more happy, is certainly going to encourage you to set larger goals and to complete them. So what I do when it comes to rewarding myself, because every single one of us needs to reward ourselves, is I very simply pin my rewards to an objective. So what people normally do is they go through life and they go, I feel like having an ice cream. And then they buy an ice cream. Then they eat the ice cream, the end. Even on such a small level, what they're saying is, I do what I want, I do what I feel like at the time. And I don't feel like I have to earn that treat. So even on a very, very small level, let's say I'm walking down the street and I feel like having an ice cream. I will sit and think, I really want ice cream, but I'm not gonna have one. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do X amount extra in the gym. I'm gonna do an extra 100 burpees, I'm gonna do an extra set of bench press, just one extra, and tomorrow afternoon I'm gonna ice cream. And even something small like that, this is a genuine example. You spend the whole day thinking about ice cream. You end up anticipating ice cream, getting excited for ice cream. You go to the gym, you do extra, you earn the ice cream. And then, you know what the crazy thing is? The ice cream tastes better after going through that process than if I would have just bought it when I kind of wanted it the first time. And it's the same with absolutely everything. If I had some money in my bank and I decided to buy a Lambo, sure, it'd be a fun, happy day. But if I set myself a series of objectives I had to complete first, not even just to be able to afford the Lambo. Sure, you can say once I make X amount of money, I'm going to treat myself to this. That's fine. But you can also pin to a bunch of other objectives. So I had the money for a Lambo, but I wouldn't allow myself to buy one until I completed other things. In the gym, for example. Gym is the one I use all the time. If I want to do something which I know is stupid, but makes me happy, like booze, like eat some bad food, like buy something I shouldn't buy, etc., etc., I make myself work for it. And I do that to alleviate the guilt of having it. Because what's going to happen is, if you've done the first two parts of this correctly and you understand the enemy you're combating, you're going to know that that person doesn't give in to those kind of desires, doesn't give in to urges. If he wants ice cream, he just goes without. Well, that's who you're battling against. But it's fine for you to have an ice cream because you're going to work extra hard. So the next thing you need to do is you need to put together a list of objectives. You need two lists. You need a list of things you can already do and afford, and a list of things you can't do and afford. So, the first list, things you can do and afford, you need to sit there and think, even basic shit, junk food. I want to have a cheat day of junk food. To allow myself to have that cheat day of junk food on the 7th day of the week, on the 6 days of the week, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to train for an hour and a half. I'm not going to leave the gym until 7:30. I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock every day. And unless you complete those 6 days, unless you complete the objectives, you're not going to give in and allow yourself to settle. And I'm telling you, the 7th day, if you finally do complete the objectives and then you're sitting there eating the junk food, it will be so much better once you've earned it. The greatest thing about this is the reward is actually better. Not only do you work harder, but the reward is so much better knowing you worked for it. So that's one example, junk food, for example. Or let's say you want new shoes. Basic shit. All the shit you're doing anyway now without thinking. You go to a mall, you'll buy yourself something. You'll want it for 10 minutes. By the time you get home and take out the bag, you don't want it. That's because you haven't trained yourself to earn it. You're going to be a happier person when you look at something you want and go, all right, I'm going to come back and get that in 2 days. And the next 2 days, I'm going to do X. And you're going to do that X that you don't want to do. It's going to be difficult, and you're going to achieve it. And then you're going to get what you want. And you're going to be happier that you got the thing. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, all these small little objectives, these small little missions you're setting yourself around a compound, especially when it comes to physical fitness. Physical fitness is the easiest one. Because you can say, I'll do 500 press-ups in that week. Done.